Hey guys, today we're back with another product review, and today on the channel we'll be reviewing the Pulsar Thermion Duo DXP55 Thermal Rifle Scope. Stay tuned for this one. Alright guys, we're back. Once again today on the channel we'll be reviewing the Thermion Duo DXP55 Thermal Rifle Scope. So that being said, this was sent to us by Optics Planet, so a very special thank you to them. If you use the code GWEB, G-W-E-B-B, you'll get 7% off of your entire order. You can also use the link in the description below, and you can go and check out everything they have in stock. And if you buy anything when you use that link, I will get a little bit back, so it will come back and help the channel. So if you'd like to support the channel in that way, use the link in the description below, and it will come back to help us. That being said, we also used ammunition today from Optics Planet while we were shooting, and we also used some Hornady 55 grain, just normal bulk ammunition that we bought out of the pocket. So that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get on into the review. So stick with me throughout this review, because what we're going to be doing is switching back and forth a little bit from me talking here to actually footage of us shooting this. This rifle scope here is a duo rifle scope, as in this name, to where you can actually look through it in normal daylight, and it is a 4K camera, and you can also look at it through it with a thermal scope, which is the bottom part here, and up here is the 4K camera. You can switch that over by just touching a button here, and it will switch from thermal to the 4K normal digital camera. So walking through some of the specifications before we get into the actual footage that we shot with the Pulsar: 640 x 480 pixel sensor. Objective lens is a f50 by 110 or 1.0 thermal, and f35 backslash 4.34 digital. Magnification is 2 to 16 thermal and 4 to 32 digital. So that's a thermal once again, and the digital is the 4K camera. Your field of view is 12.4 times 9.3, 21.8 times 16.4 thermal channel on minimal magnification, and 6.1 times 4.6 and 10.6 times 8 digital channel on minimum magnification. Your current retail price of this is $6,199.97. Has a full 4K color sensor for daytime hunting, 1900 plus yard thermal detection range day and night, one-shot freeze, zeroing, and thermal and digital channels, combined multispectral viewing modes, high precision aiming, 5 individual shooting profiles, 50 zeroing distances, 5 individual shooting profiles with the zeroing setting that is saved into the shooting profile. The Thermion 2 LFR memory contains up to 5 shooting profiles for several types of weapons and cartridges, a section of 10 reticle shapes in 9 color modes. Thermion possesses a wide array of shape and color customization reticles, including static, ballistic, and scalable reticles. 9 color options help to optimize aiming for specific conditions. It mounts on a standard 30mm rings, a section of 8 color palettes in thermal mode. We have white hot, black hot, red hot for optimal for detection. Rainbow and ultramarine help increase the chances of recognition and identification. Red monochrome, septa, and violet are best for extended observation at night. We used white hot for everything that we shot in today's video. High precision ambidextrous lens focusing. A wide angle eyepiece for comfortable observation. Instant startup in just 4 seconds. High caliber recoil resistance from 12 gauge, 9.3 times 64, .375 H&H, 30-06, 300 Winchester Magnum, as well as with other smoothbore and pneumatic weapons. Up to 6 hours of battery life on a single charge. That is charging the internal battery and the external battery as well. Completely waterproof IPX7. Operating temperatures of -25 to +50 degrees Celsius. And that is about it. So now we're going to get into the actual footage of this scope being sighted in. Alrighty, so we are back. So right now we're going to be sighting in the actual normal vision, or the 4K camera of the Thermion Duo. So as you can see here, this is the thermal. Nothing puts off thermal heat besides like a normal what you get from the sun right now. As you can see that right there is metal, and that right there, refresh is the pass-through targets. You can kind of see a little bit, but that's what's great about the Thermion is that once you change it here, now you can see it is a normal picture. So let's go ahead and get ready to sight the send. So here, we'll go ahead and do a long press on the action, go into reticle and 0, go down to our 020 because that's where we are sighting it in currently at now. This is our 20-inch LMT 556, what we currently have it mounted up on, and that's why I do the 20 meter on here, even though it's not technically 20 meters, just 20-inch barrel. Let me get it back into this now. Reticle 0, the 20 meter, zeroing. All right, let's go ahead and add a little bit of magnification to it. As you can see, this right here is the 32 times, so as you can see, it is crystal clear. Let's go ahead and do the 8 though, just so we can see where we are hitting. Let's do bottom left corner. All right, so not too bad off. Let's go ahead and go down to our freeze once I get it down there. All right, now once we have got that frozen, go to windage and elevation, and we can now perfectly get it dialed in. Yes, I know it's a little bit off, but once again, this is just a rough side in. We'll do it a little bit better right here in a second. Okay. So now let's go ahead and unfreeze the picture. All right, now we are back. Let's try and take a good hold shot on it now. Okay, let's go ahead and freeze that picture. Trying to get my bipod tightened up just for a second here. There we go. Our windage and elevation should be pretty decent now. Let's go ahead and take a actual accurate shot with it now. If I can get this to stabilize halfway decent anyway. Right on the money. Yep. Give me a tad bit of less. Alright guys, we are back. We are also loaded up with a new mag. And just for the reasons of this video, we are shooting Hornady 55 grain full metal jacket. Some of, if not the most accurate bulk 55 grain that you can buy. It is pretty expensive for normal bulk 55 grain, but it is pretty decently accurate. Let's go ahead and take our time and see what we can do. Let's give me a little bit of magnification on here. 8 times 16. See if we can put one right in there. You can see, boys, that's dead on accurate. You can see I pulled on that in just a little bit. Pretty tight group right there, especially for 55 grain coming out of a 20-inch chrome line barrel. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of that off. See what else we can hit around here. A little bit of that magnification off because it's about making me dizzy. See how well I can stack the shots over here. Right off the edge. Right, let's do some more of them hostage shots right there. Yo, switch to him. And we are empty. So guys, as you can see, it was a good hold in for that ranging. So as you can see though guys, it is a very, very easy sight to sight in, especially on the normal mode in the daytime mode. Whenever it does come to the thermal, as you can see here, there is nothing that we can see out here right now that's got much of a heat signature to it. The best way that I have found to do this, my buddy actually showed me how to do this, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but he hung thermal, like something that emits energy, or not energy, but heat, such as like a hand warmer. Once you figure out where you're holding, you can then hit the hand warmer and see where exactly your bullet is landing. That being said, though, if you want to put up a piece of wood, here in Kentucky, it gets down about 70 degrees during the night. If you put up a piece of wood and you shoot, you can actually see a dime-sized hole where that round went through, and that's how we actually got the signature on the heat or on the thermal sensor to sight in. So it's a very interesting way to do this. But as you can see here, if you want a great 4K optic for daytime shooting, to where you can quickly switch from daytime to thermal, that right there is hard to beat. So guys, as you can see there, very easy to sight in this scope with just a freeze of one button. That is for the daytime. The nighttime, we was trying to record it, but for some reason we lost the video footage somewhere or another. But the Thermion at night actually done a very good job as well. Once again, we used a piece of wood that we put up, and we aimed right at the center of the piece of wood. We shot. Then we aimed at that bullet hole that we put through, because you could see a perfect dime-sized hole with the round that we just put through it. We shot there. As soon as we got done shooting, we seen where it was. We froze the video, and we took the cursor and moved it down to there, hit enter, and it was sighted in within about 5 shots. especially once we figured out how to run this thing the best. It was easy to do. Once again, you have the plus here, the record on the right hand side, and switching the modes on the main back. So moving up a little bit more to our night shoot. Something else very quickly I need to tell you about is over here on the side, these ears here, there's one on the left, one on the right. That's how you actually focus the thermal camera. So if you get one, you're like, man, my eyes just not focusing to this, test this out, because that more likely will get it fixed as well. So once again, getting a little bit more to the actual night and daytime shooting. One great thing that I've seen about this is the ability to put your little square in the top of whatever you're viewing. So if you're viewing it through a nighttime mode, you can change it to where you can see the daytime mode in the top square. So in case you're looking or trying to scan or whatever else, and you think you see something, and then you switch it over to your night vision mode, you're not going to lose it just because it's right there in that box all together. So if you want to run daytime with the thermal, you can. And if you want to run the thermal with the daytime in the 10% window, you can as well. It's very interesting. You can sit here and be looking through this scope, and I can connect through it through the Wi-Fi, and I can actually watch it on the app here. That's how we actually was doing a lot of our footage. We had a spotter behind us where it was looking through the phone recording, or you can actually record on this and it saves it onto its actual memory on the internal part of this, and then you can download it onto your phone once you get done with it, either way you want to go. But like say for instance, you and your son's out hunting and you're wanting to see what he's seeing through his scope, you can watch the video while you're sitting here in real time looking through the scope, which is, I mean, killer. It's amazing, really, to be honest with you. Really blows my mind what this scope can do. To be honest with you, this scope is absolutely crystal clear, especially in that 4K. That 4K really blew my mind. So if you was wanting even a digital scope, this one right here is bad hard to beat. But that being said, though, you also have the ability to use thermal. To me, to be honest with you all, thermal is more useful now than night vision ever thought about being. The biggest downside of thermal is that you can't see through like glass or whatever else, so you do have to use your other scope for that, your actual camera scope. But whenever it does come to thermal, I think thermal is the future for almost every single rifle scope out there whenever it comes to this type of setup. All right, guys, so talking a little bit more about the thermal aspect of this scope. Whenever you're looking at an actual animal or something else that actually puts out a heat signature to it, you can see the outline of it perfect within the first setting of it. Whenever you get a little bit further out to the 16th setting of it, it starts to blur a decent amount, but at the same time you can still tell what type of animal it is. If it's a deer, coyote, horse, person, just depends on really what you're aiming at. But that being said, though, the way that you can adjust that for it to get a little bit better is once again with these ears here, and you can mess around with your settings. Once again, though, the best way that I can advise you to figure out how to get this scope to work is to read your owner's manual. We done that right off the bat, and I never felt at one time like this was too hard to figure out, like there was something else to it that, oh, well, this is something I could never figure out how to use. Anybody can figure out how to use this scope as long as you read your manual, so make sure you do. And there's plenty of other more in-depth videos on how to actually get this scope to work. This review here in itself is more from the person that has never been much around thermal. To be honest with you, this is the first thermal rifle scope that I've ever had, first thermal anything I've had. And whenever Optics Planet come to me and was like, hey, do you want to review this? I kind of felt a little bit, you know, not discouraged, but overwhelmed whenever it come in, because you're looking at $6,000 scope. Like, wow, you know, I'm not really that intuitive on thermal scopes or what I need to look at, this, that, and the other. So I watched a few videos, and every one of the videos I watched was talking a lot about, you know, the specification stuff, this, that, and the other. But I wanted to make a review for the normal guy out there that's wanting to get into thermals. There are no free lunches most of the time whenever it comes to anything in the firearms community, either that being pistol, rifles, shotguns, scopes, glass, this, that, and the other. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, this right here is just as good or whatever else. But it's really not that simple whenever it comes to thermal optics. If you're going out and you're looking and you're saying, hey, you know, here's a $2,000 thermal, this will be just as good as a $6,000 thermal, that's not right. I've seen plenty of videos online of cheaper thermals than this, and this right here blows them out of the water. So if you really want to put your money where your mouth is or get the best in the business, this one right here is a contender for it. not only does it have a great thermal actual image to it, but the daytime scope on it is absolutely killer as well. It's one of my favorite parts of it, to be honest with you, just to have a digital scope that anytime I want to, I can identify with a digital scope, and then I can go to the thermal scope and actually get a good precise shot with that. So once again though, guys, this is coming from a guy who has never really messed around with many thermal optics. That being said, I've watched a lot of reviews on it since I have received this scope, just so I can get a kind of a foot in the door aspect of this scope itself. So guys, that being said, from what I can tell, this is one of the best thermals on the market. Not only does it have a great daytime visual digital scope, but that thermal at night, man, you can see things that you thought that you'd never be able to see. So that being said as well, this is a little bit of a funnier video we're going to insert right now. The gun had the bolt out of it, so it was 100% safe. The actual guy that's walking down range seen that the gun was safe as well. Bolt was out of it. This could not function any way, shape, form, or fashion. But that being said, though, you can just see what a guy looks like whenever you're looking through this scope. It is scary, to be honest with you all, but if you want something for a home defense, to where you think somebody might be coming hunting for you in the woods or whatever else, or the Korean military is jumping in on us, or the Russians are jumping in on Americans, this scope would be great for that as well. But I know this is more tailored towards the coyote aspect of it or the night hunting aspect of it, but at the same time, a red dawn aspect would be pretty interesting to use one of these in as well as somebody come to threaten our freedom here in the United States. Once again, $6,000 is a lot of money, but if you want what's best on the market right now, this one right here is bad hard to beat. And I think overall, this is the best value on the market. And if you all have any questions or comments about it, please use the comment section below and get back to you as soon as possible. But once again, very special thank you to Optics Planet for sending us this scope to review for you all. And once again, thank you for the ammunition as well. You can use the code GWEB, GWEBB, and get 7% off of your entire order. And if you have any questions or comments on anything to do with this rifle here, this is the LMT 13.25-inch upper with the 20-inch chrome line barrel. Once again, guys, thank y'all for viewing as always. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next video.